Hello everyone, welcome back to AWS Advanced Course. So in that last video we just had an introduction to EC2, right? So I was showing some presentation and I was explaining about EC2. Today we are going to compare with the presentation. Also we are going to discuss how EC2 looks like in the AWS console practically. Followed by the practical, we are also going to talk about one of the real project use case from EC2. Okay, this is what the action plan on this video. Okay, so let's get started. I'll quickly take you back into the presentation. So we all know what is EC2. It's providing you the functionality for every organization to set up their virtual machine. Technically, it is called it as an instance, correct? So with the reference to this presentation, I'll go to the AWS console. Here, you can see the EC2 console. Since I recently used it, you're able to see. Other than that, right, you can even search in the search tab. It will take you to the EC2 dashboard. The EC2 dashboard looks like these only. So where I told you, right, there is something called a instance, launch instance, whatever. So here in the dashboard, it will show you a number of services available in this current account at present. Yes, there is no instances running, but I think there are some instances are in stop state, I believe. If you want to create a new instance, you can click over here. By this clicking here, you can set up a new VM. So other than that, right, if I select this instance, yeah, as I told you already, yeah, one of the Jenkins server is available. Actually, I don't want this server, which is I created long back. I can go ahead, I can delete it, but still, I'll show you how to create a new instance in AWS. Okay, which is very simple. You can click on launch instance. When you click on launch instance, right, it will take you to the another set of page where you can create your EC2 instance. Very few basic settings you need to enable, guys, in terms of creating a EC2 instance. One is name of your instance. Maybe I can give you like a demo EC2 instance. This name I'm going to give it for this particular instance, followed by, right, I'm also going to select AM. There is something called Amazon machine image. Something called Amazon machine. When come to AWS EC2, the operating system images are calling it as a Amazon machine image. So where in on-prem data center, right, you need to have your operating system media physically present in your system or with you. Only then you can install the operating to any server. But in cloud, setting up the virtual machine, I mean the instance, you don't need to carry in because all the AMI, Amazon machine image, which means the operating system already present in the console. So based on your need, you can select, Amazon Linux or Mac OS or Ubuntu or Windows, Red Hat, whatever you want, right? You can go ahead, you can pick. Here you can have your own customized AMI. I mean, you can have your own customized operating system that you can see here. But for now, right, I do not have anything. I'll show you in the later session. These are the recent image, what image you have used, right? That will show. But I suggest you to go ahead, okay, and click on this quick change. Whatever the operating system you want, you can select. For now, for today's demo, I'm going to show you with Windows-based operating system. So I'll select Windows AMI. Let me click over here. When you select Windows flavor, you will get lots of editions from Windows. What are the different versions? Lot many things used to come over here. Okay, so you can see over here, whichever the version you wanted to select, you can go with that. Followed by there is something called instance type. So once you provided the name to your instance, once you selected your operating system, third step, right, you need to focus on the instance. Instance types are literally, I think we have discussed about this already. This is your hardware gun. Okay, again, I'm going back to my specific presentation. Here we have talked EC2 instance type. There are various hardware instances are available with AWS, something called general purpose. If you are creating your server for general usage, you can go with general purpose. If you are using any high performance computing load, you are planning to create an EC2 server, you need to go with compute optimized, or you are going to deploy any application where you need more memory. So obviously you can go for memory optimized. So this instance type only, here we are going this instance type only, here we are going to. So if you click on this drop down, right, you can see one name, configuration name. This is to call T2 Nano, T2 Micro, T2 small. If you scroll down, right, there are many configuration names are there. In this, right, we are going to see how much number of virtual CPU, how much number of memory you're going to get it in this particular. For an example, AWS providing this T2 micro for eligible for free tier. So if you guys are using free tier AWS account for your study purpose or learning purpose, you are recommended to use this T2 micro. When you use T2 micro, right, so in that case, you will get one virtual CPU and 1 GB RAM. Virtual CPU and 1 GB RAM. This is what the spec. Similar way, you can see there are many instance types are available. T2 large, T2X large, T2 2X large, T3 nano, T3 micro. If you keep go right, you will get hundreds of instance type available in there. Okay, how can you confirm it? Which one you need it? Which instance type I should choose for doing that only. In AWS, right, they have dedicatedly provided control AWS EC2 instance. Okay, when you click on it, they have dedicatedly provided a documentation with EC2. If we scroll down, I told you, right, in the presentation, there's something called general purpose plus compute optimized, memory optimized, almost everything they have provided over. Okay, compute optimized, memory optimized, general purpose, accelerated computing, storage optimized, HPC optimized, like various types of category available. Okay, so when you select this general purpose, they are given you the general purpose instances are provided balanced compute and memory networking resources, use it for variety of diverse workload. So all the description, right, they have given over here itself. Under the general purpose only, this series, okay, I told you, right, T2 micro, this is comes under T2. If you go there, T2 nano, T2 micro, T2 small, memory large, so whatever. Here you can see virtual CPU, and here you can see that CPU. Okay, so under memory, here you can see the memory. So based on this, right, what we can do is you can go ahead and you can pick your, if your customer looking for normal purpose of activity, you wanted to pick some EC2 instance, right, they are in the need of 4 GB RAM with 16 GB of memory, you can go and suggest. So likewise, open this page and compare all the instance types, whatever available, whichever the one suits for your requirement, go ahead and use. Okay, so each and every instance type, based on the configuration, it will also change the cost. So coming back to the AWS console, the place where we are trying to create the instance, right? So yeah, since this is the free tier account, I'm going with the T2 micro configuration. Okay, once you selected the name of your instance, once you provided the AMI image to the instance, once you selected the instance type, another thing is something called the key pack. Okay, this is the key which we need to download it to log into your EC2 instance. Okay, so if you're already having a key, you can make use of it. Otherwise, when you have a specific set of username, password available, you can reuse it. Basically, reusing in the sense, generally, you don't need to create a new key for different requirement. You don't need to create a new key for the different requirement. What you can do is simply you can have one key for in your account. You can reuse that same key for multiple times. Okay. So how I'm going to show you, let me click on create new key pair. Here I'll ask for the key name. Let me give a demo key, something like that. Okay. There are two type of format available. One is PEM, another one is PPK. So PEM means for using OpenSSH. Mostly for Windows servers, we used to go with the PEM key, PEM format. PPK, when you have a putty kind of terminal, right? For Linux servers to interacting through CLI, we will use that. PEM can be converted anytime to PPK. There are some puttygen, there are some applications are there. Using that, you can convert it. Ideally, right, I recommend all of you to go with this PEM format of key. Anytime you can. Okay, let me click on create key. Immediately the key gets downloaded. Okay, now if you scroll down, this is a networking setting. Currently, right, I'm not going to take you guys because we are dedicatedly going to discuss something about VPC, virtual private cloud, which is coming on upcoming videos. I'll take you guys deep dive about all these networking setting. Okay, for now, so configure storage. So here you can set up a storage, by the way, where you can specify. At present, right, I'm going with the 30 GB of storage space. Let it be. We'll go ahead and we'll create the instance. Okay, quick recap. We have provided the name to my instance. We selected the AMI, we have provided the instance type, we have downloaded the key pair, we have selected the storage. Okay, all the configurations are summary available here. Once you validated the summary, click on launch instance. Exactly, it will take 1 or 2 minutes of time to instance to come up. Exactly, it will take 1 or 2 minutes of time the instance to come. Okay. So I'm going with this option. I'm selecting this. Okay. If you can see the specific instance showing running state, but yeah, we need to wait for the status actually to come up. So this instance is running. Obviously, we are not kept it on stop state. More than that, right, we'll have to be very much conscious about status check. Okay, so that is very important. This status check is going to clearly indicate what is the status of the. Okay, in another few minutes, if you could see the status check, we would see some random value over there. Okay, that time I'll talk more about it. For now, we have created an instance which is in running state. Whenever you create an instance, right, we'll have an option called public IP. So using this public IP only, we will be connecting with our EC2 instance. Depends on the project. So okay, there are some project people are allowed to use public IP. There are some project, right, it's not recommended to use private IP. They will have a specific private network. They will very much conscious about publicly exposing things, and they will be very much conscious about what is happening, and they will set up their own VPNs and all. Okay, so based on that only, every project to project it will vary. Okay. So ensure it is highly recommended by your project. Okay, so now I think the instance should be ready. We can go ahead and we can try to connect with this instance. And so if you're a Windows user, by default you will have an application called remote desktop tool. Most of you people are using Windows, right? So you will be having this tool, remote desktop connection tool will be available by default. If not available, yeah, by default it will be there for Windows. If it is not available, you are a Mac user, something like that, you need to install the tool. Okay, see, look at this. This is a tool which I use. Okay, I can delete this long back of this. But however, using this Microsoft desktop tool, right, you would be able to access your EC2 instance sorted. Okay, let me copy the public IP. Okay, so I'll give it over here. Let me click on it. Now when I go for click on connect, it will ask for the username and password. Okay, how can I get the username and password? We all know, right? We have downloaded some keypad. So what we can do, we can click on this instance. We can go to connect state. Okay, here RDP client, you need to upload the keypad what you download. Okay, demo key I've downloaded, right? We'll just upload it. So this upload option is not coming up. Okay guys, when you uploaded it, you will see the demo.key keypad file we downloaded, right? It will be showing over here. You can click on decrypt password. As soon as you click on decrypt password, right? Yeah, see that password over here. So now what are we gonna do? Let's just copy the administrator as a username. We'll paste it over here and password. Here we can click on continue. Yeah, continue. Now we are connecting with this particular EC2 instance. Okay, for the first time, the EC2 instance will take some time to load. Yeah. Our EC2 instance is ready. Now you can do whatever you want. You can play with the server. You can do whatever you want. All right. This is the way you can set up your brand new EC2 instance. This is the way you can set up your brand new EC2 instance. Now I'll go back to the instance. When you come to the instances, right? We would able to see there are two servers are present now. We already talked about this Jenkins server. This is long back I created, but this is a demo EC2 instance is created by now. Okay. So I was a little bit ago. I was talking about the status check, right? There are 2-3 different status checks are there from EC2 instance. Okay, those status checks are something like 2 mean everything. Okay, the backend hardware side, front end operating system side, network connectivity, network port, all those things are looks good. In 2 status, right? Instance is running without any issue. There's one other state available, something called 0 bar 2. When 0 bar 2 comes, right, there is a problem with backend hardware. Okay, so where we will not be able to handle those troubleshoot those issues. So we need to raise the AWS support case, or we need to troubleshoot by checking with the AWS team only. A backend hardware issue comes, they will help us to fix it. Okay, so that case is all about 0 bar. Okay. So there are one more status available, which is something called as a 1 bar 2. Okay, which is something called as a 1 bar 2. 1 bar 2 indicate it's not about backend hardware issue. It should be an issue with some of the front end configuration. Okay, some of other antivirus is blocking. Some of our operating system level, some ports has been blocked. Some kind of issues, right? We are calling it as a 1 bar. Okay, 0 bar 2 is all good. No issue about that. 1 bar 2 is as I told you, there's an issue with the front end. 0 bar 2. Let's complete this backend hardware issue. Okay, one last thing. 1 bar 2 is something like front side OS level or network interface level. Okay, operating system side or network interface side, or it could be due to a disk. So it could be, it caused for any reason. Okay, 1 bar 2. For 1 bar 2, you cannot reach out to AWS. This you need to troubleshoot. This we need. Okay, but my recommendation is whenever you get 0 bar 2, 1 bar 2, when you are not able to connect to your instance, you are not able to RDP, you are not able to connect to your instance, do stop. Once it's completely came, no, it will become stopped state. Once it's stopped, right, then you do start and it will become started or running. Okay, when you do manually one by one, what it will do, AWS has an algorithm, backend hardware, right, or easy to instance from one physical host to another physical host will switch over. When you do stop and start in the console, your easy to instance, right, will switch over from one physical host to another physical host, exactly in the backend data center. Okay, so to activate that algorithm, you do stop. Once it's completely stopped, then you do start from the console. Don't do directly restart. No effect. If you follow this, you will be able to see something useful. Yeah. After that, for any one of this issue, right, you can try to do this when you're not able to connect to your instance. Okay, this is an important interview question I'm explaining separate. Cool. Now we have just seen the instance is available. The details tab, right, you can see the instance ID. Each and every instances will have its own unique ID, and you should be able to see the public IP. So yeah, again I told you, it depends on the organization. Some of them encourage to use public IP, some of them not. So keep in mind that private IP. So in AWS, right, where we have multiple EC2s are available. Okay, so in that case, what we can do is among the instance they want to communicate, means private IP is very much useful. Okay, apart from that, we do have elastic IP also. Yeah, I'll talk about that. So to connect your instance, or you wanted to do the stop start. See, to stop the instance or start the instance or reboot the instance or terminate the instance, hymenate the instance. So whatever you wanted to do, you can do it. Okay, when you go to the actions, right, you will see many other options. Okay, just if you click on connect, same thing. We have retrieved the password. Right? This one and this one both are same. You can get the view details. Yeah, again details like this. No, you can get it. Manage instance state. Okay, so any particular state you wanted to manage, here you can get it. But important things are, these are the options. When you select the instance settings, you can attach to auto scaling group. Yeah, in future video we are going to talk about that. Change termination protection. Is somebody going to terminate your EC2 instance, you can enable this option. If sometime if you mistakenly delete this instance and all, this will indicate, this will protect. Hey, seems like this is a crucial server. You have enabled the termination protection. I really wanted to delete the server. Like that, it will give you the double confirm. If still you want to go for deleting that server, you need to come back here. You need to disable this. Only then it will permit. Okay, by that way, we can avoid accidental deletion for our critical server. Okay, stop protection, the network level, other protection, right? If you want to do, but change that, you can do it. Likewise, you will get many other, small settings and features will be there in the instance. Okay, coming to the network, right? You wanted to add a new network interface, detach the existing network interface, connect to RDS database, manage IP addresses, like all this network related things, right? You can control security. You can change the security group. Okay, I'll talk about the security group. What does that mean? And image monitoring and troubleshooting. You can get the system log. You can get the instant screenshot. All those things, right? You would able to do. Okay, this action by selecting the checkbox. If you go to the action, that action is applicable to this particular EC2. Okay, not only you are seeing the details over here, you also will be able to see the status and alarm. So what is the status of your instance? Is there any alarm specifically configured for any critical servers, right? You can set up an alarm. If the server goes down, send me alert notification to this particular email ID. Like that, you can set up it. Monitoring, you would able to see how much CPU utilized, how much network is being utilized, all this information, right? You can fetch it graphically here. Security. Okay, I think in the presentation I've already talked about the security group, you remember. Okay, so here I've talked about the security group. Every EC2 instances, right, will have the security group attached. For one EC2 instance, you can attach up to 5 security. Okay, one instance support 5 security group. Each security group you can have a 50 policy. Security group you can have a 50 policy. So there are two type of options are there. One is inbound policy and outbound policy. We'll talk about that inbound and outbound very short. Okay, like networking, you will be able to see what is the IP, which network you belongs to, all this network related things you can see here. Storage, yeah, how many storage volumes are attached. If you remember, when we create the EC2 instance, we attach 30 GB of volume. Okay, that data you can see here. And tag. So if you go to the live environment, a real project, tag is very much important. You cannot ignore the tag. So tags can be cost allocation tag, project tag, who's the owner, which department, division it comes from. All these information, right? You need to mark it as a tag. Okay, for an example, let me show you some of the important tags from the live project. Okay. Some of the important live. Start from cost allocation ID. Maybe every project will have some ID. Okay. Next one is who's the owner. Okay, owner, you can give the application, your manager name or someone names, right? You can give. Okay, then you can provide what is the cost allocation ID, owner ID, department. You can mention like R&D or POC or whatever. Likewise, you can add some standard tag. The standard tags are vary from the company to company. So when you get into any of the AWS project, first you need to understand the tagging standard. After that, right, you need to make sure how these tags are followed in your project. Make sure you're adding it. So coming to the tag, right, it's very much flexible. No need to worry. Anytime you can edit it, you can modify it totally. Okay. So this is what pretty much about EC2. And one last stuff, and we have talked about EC2 key features. There is something called security group, elastic IP, key pair, block storage. So security group, I told you when come to EC2 instance, here you are seeing, right, this is a security group. In the security group only, as I said, who all come inside of my EC2 instance, who all have permission to access my EC2 instance, network level will configure over here only. Also, you can see the security group here also. Either way you can access it. Another one is elastic IP. Okay, yeah, if you scroll down, you will have an option to have an elastic IP. Yeah, we have a dedicated use case available, how to use the elastic IP. Okay, that one we are going to talk about. Block storage. Yeah, just before we have created 30 GB of storage, right? This is the block storage. So here you can see elastic block storage volumes. And one last thing, key pair. Whatever the key pair you downloaded, you use it to log into your EC2 instance, right? That is your key pair. That also you can see here by going inside. Okay, so this all the settings, basic settings we must be having clear understanding, guys. So with this, let me complete this video. Next video, right, I'm going to come up with some interesting real project use cases. We'll continue. Okay, thank you for watching this video.